Hello everybody, I'm SohnJee. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time checking me out, thank you so much. I appreciate your stopping by. If you are already a subscriber, let me take a moment to thank you so much for hanging in there with me and subscribing and giving me your time. I know you could be anywhere else doing anything else, but you're choosing to hang out with me, and I definitely appreciate it. So let's get into it. As always, I ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And when subscribing, please hit the little bell and let them know that you want to be notified when I upload new content. I encourage you to watch the video and of course leave your comments below. I'm always interested in hearing what it is you think about it. I do read the comments and I will respond. So I just ask that each of you are courteous and respectful of myself, yourselves, and each other. Alrighty? So without further ado, let's get into this subject matter for this video series. We are discussing how your astrological sign acts when they're falling for you and in love. All right, let's go. All right, so every zodiac sign is different. Okay, we've established that. No two people are the same. However, there are specific traits that can be attributed to each zodiac sign. All right, now the way in which they express it is what makes them unique. Now, everyone expresses their feelings differently, of course, particularly when they're in love or involved in a romantic entanglement with someone. That's why it can be so difficult for you to determine whether or not the partner you're with is really feeling you or just simply playing games. All right, so the purpose of this video is to give you a heads up, a clue to help you determine whether or not your boo is into you, because very often people don't notice the signals that show how much someone likes them. So they ask themselves and others many questions. We've all gotten it from your friends. Do you think they're into me? What do you think? They act this way, and you go into this diatribe and it goes on and on about you trying to figure out whether the person you're dating is into you. So stay tuned, get your pen and paper ready. I'm going to talk to you about how the zodiac sign you're involved with, whether or not they're feeling you or it's kind of on the fizzle. Stay tuned. It's coming up right now. Well, you decided you got your eyes set on an Aquarius and you're wondering if that Aquarius feels the same way about you. Aquarius is a tough one. Let's get into it, shall we? Now, Aquarius are naturally deep thinkers and highly intellectual people who love helping others, typically. That's their niche. Aquarians are our helpers, okay? Big hearts. They are able to see both sides of an issue typically without prejudice, okay? And that makes them great problem solvers for other people. The issue for Aquarius sometimes is because they add so many different variables inside their heads that thinking their way through their own problems sometimes can be a little challenging. But we're going to talk more about that. Just hang in there. All right, so although they can easily adapt to the energy that surrounds them, okay, very adaptable, not closed. Aquarians are typically very fluid people. Aquarians have a deep need for alone time in order to regroup and restore their own power. They have no problem isolating. As a matter of fact, it's kind of their life force, and they need it every now and then just to be alone with their thoughts. Now, Aquarius look at the world as a place full of possibilities. And because the what if is constantly, tapping them on the shoulder, it kind of makes committing to things for them, especially relationship-wise, difficult. Yeah, Aquarius. Love you though. We're going to keep going. Okay. Now you're ruled by Uranus. So Aquarius has a shy and timid nature within them. Okay. They can be quite reserved people naturally. But at the same time, there's a flip side to them, and they can be somewhat forceful and aggressive at times as well. Okay. Especially when they are fighting for something they truly believe in, which is typically freedom of some sort, whether it's their own independence, freedom of speech, freedom for other people, a cause. Then you will see that other side of Aquarius, which isn't so laid back, but much more in your face. Now, Aquarius is also, they're very perceptive, and they typically can see what's down the road in a situation, and they know exactly what they want for themselves 5 or 10 years from now. And Aquarius typically has a mental idea of where they want to be in 5 to 10 years, and whether or not they've shared it with you is separate and apart from their own internal idea of where they see themselves and being focused, laser focused on getting there. Okay, they are known, as I said, as thinkers. Okay, they give things a lot of thought, especially their own life course, and they're progressives and humanists and feel good surrounded by other people and nature and things like that. Typically, Aquarians just like vibes. Okay, they are our vibers. So they are the feel good. They like everything to just flow. That's who the Aquarian is. Now, the biggest issue for the Aquarius born person is feeling that they are limited or constrained. That's why they like the outdoors a lot of times, because they like the freedom, the air, the movement. They just want to be free to move around. Even if they're in jobs that restrict their movements, the freedom to go from place to place still has to be an element within that job, so that they still feel free, whether they are free to create, free to express. Those are lifeline things, free to think outside the box. Those things rejuvenate and keep the Aquarius true to who they are, so that they don't feel confined and begin to feel contrary and inner conflict going on within themselves. Okay? They'll always strive to ensure freedom of speech and movement for themselves and for others. Aquarius born have a reputation for being cold and insensitive people to others, but that is not necessarily the truth. Actually, it isn't true at all. That is actually their own defense mechanism that Aquarians use. Aquarians are very sensitive people. They are very feeling and emotional people. And because they invest so much, once they've decided that you're somebody that they care about, that they have this built-in defense thing that says, whoa, that they put up, so that they have to make sure that they can trust you and that they can express their emotions to you when it gets to that level in a healthy way, because they don't want to be taken advantage of. All right? Now, the greatest aphrodisiac for an Aquarius is intellectual conversation. Intellectual stimulation gets them. If you can have a bomb discussion, okay, about something, and they may not even agree with you, but that you can take it there and information, and you can share, and you can help them learn more about something that maybe they weren't even really interested in, that is an Aquarius is like, yes, this is somebody that they want to know. Okay, so if you are not a very good conversationalist for the Aquarian, is all hope lost? No. Okay, that's not true. But at some point, you're going to have to chat it up. Because that's what they want. That's how they express themselves. That's what gets their juices flowing. And they need a partner who is going to actually exchange ideas and grow and learn from them, as well as them receiving information and learning from you. Now, there is nothing that can attract an Aquarius more than that interesting conversation, openness, communication, a vivid imagination, and willingness to take a few risks are qualities in a mate that they enjoy. Yes, the Aquarian, when I say to you, they want you to take a few risks, you know, that area. Aquarians are known to be a little freaky. Because they're pretty esoteric, they think outside the box. So outside the box is exactly what they have in mind, and they are willing to go there. If you can go there, Aquarius is willing to take the ride. All right. So yes, that kind of a partner that's willing to do a little bit of the jiggy and a little bit of the freaky. Yes, and you can talk a good game, you got a good imagination. Ooh, you just might be able to snag yourself an Aquarian. Yeah, comment section. I want to hear about it. We're going to move on. Now, they give independence to their partners, okay? They're just typically not the swarm you, clingy, gotta know your every move, especially not in the beginning. We're talking about the beginning of the relationship. Now, those things I have heard change later on down the road with an Aquarian. But right now, for the purposes of this video, we are just talking about in the beginning. And in the beginning of a relationship with an Aquarian, they will value your independence and they will expect to maintain their own, okay? They will treat their partners as equals. However, be clear, integrity and honesty are essential for anyone interested in a long-term relationship. In other words, don't let an Aquarian catch you in a tale or two, because they're going to take it to you. They're not going to be appreciative of it. They're going to read you the full riot act. Oh yeah, they expect for you to just say what it is and mean what you say. That's who an Aquarius is, because pretty much they're gonna say whatever the heck they want to say to you, so they don't understand why you would play the dishonesty game with them, especially since they think that they're pretty approachable and pretty agreeable. That's up for debate. But as I said, don't get caught telling an Aquarian a tall tale, especially early on in the relationship, because it might be the downfall of that relationship later on. Okay? They may get past it, but that doesn't mean that they ever got over it, really. Yeah, we could talk about that one too a little later, perhaps in another video. Alrighty, so although Aquarians are communicative, they need time to get close to people, okay? They're just not the ones that's gonna hop right in there like other signs. They'll be like, whoop, I'm in there. No, that is not your Aquarius. They will press pause on you, all right? Because they're highly sensitive people. Closeness means vulnerability, and the Aquarian feels like they have to make sure that you're worthy of their time. That's just how they feel about it. They're like, I'm not going to give you my quality time and give up my freedom, and you may not be worth it at all. So for an Aquarian, they're gonna approach that thing really, really slowly. So if you want a lasting love with an Aquarian, you should be their friend first. Aquarians value friendships greatly. Friends to them are like family. So if you want them to take you seriously, please, 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 please play your position as a friend in their life, okay? They tend to start romances slow, and then as a friend, and then it evolves into something more serious. They rarely enter romantic relationships with someone who isn't already a friend or an acquaintance of theirs. Now, pause, sidebar. Will an Aquarian see you, have the hots for you, and jump in the sack and do jiggy jiggy and be on it and go on with you? Of course. Do they do it every day? Yep. Is that a lasting relationship with an Aquarian? Not typically, especially if he's a male. Sorry guys, but the Aquarian males are quite a different breed than our Aquarian females. So a lot of this stuff is for your Aquarian males, these tips. That's who I'm talking about. An Aquarian female, yes, perhaps she will jump in there and she will try to ride this thing out for you, typically. But at some point, she too is going to press pause on you. Why? Because an Aquarian needs their space. Eventually, too much becomes just too doggone much for an Aquarian, and both male and female will press pause. But if you started off as a friend, an Aquarian feels as though they can fall back and fall back into the friend zone with you, regroup, and then go back into the romantic thing. But if you don't have that friend thing to fall back on, yeah, it becomes a situation. It does. Yeah. Let's keep going. So be patient if you've got your eyes on an Aquarian, and keep things platonic until they give you the go ahead that they're interested in this thing becoming something more. Okay? You gotta play your position in being the good friend, the friend that they reach you. Get used to being a part of their day. You have to become like a routine for an Aquarian. And then they just easily slip into that thing. But if you're just right there, bam, bam, yeah, they'll go with it, but eventually all hell's gonna break loose. Listen, they don't have the reputation of being non-committal for nothing. I'm just saying. All right, this came from a whole lot of people. So if you happen to have the Aquarian that doesn't suffer from that, and they've got some other wonderful committal things in their birth chart, please tell us about that unicorn that you found in the comment section below. Moving on. All righty. So respect your Aquarian's need for freedom, their need to be an individual, and their desire to make a difference in the world. That is paramount for them. They are on a quest to take whatever it is their inner thing is, to share their life story and what they feel their purpose is, and they're going to fulfill it. So get out of the way. You're not going to change their mind about it. You might as well embrace it, encourage it, and do what you can to propel them forward on that, okay? The Aquarius personality is independent, mysterious, free-spirited, and eccentric, okay? They have a unique sense of humor, typically, and a practical outlook on life. Yes, an Aquarius is very, let's get down to brass tacks, okay? They'll listen to all that fluff for a while, and then it's like, okay, let's just get real. It's this. And they're going to tell you, oh, yeah, okay, it's this. And they have a very good knack for pinpointing the practicality in most situations. So, that's a gift of the Aquarius. So just be prepared for it, depending upon the Aquarius. Might be a little abrasive when they tell you the truth of the matter. But you have some of those that are going to tell you the truth of the matter, but they might be a little bit more genteel. Some, not all. Don't expect it. But if you get it, woohoo, lucky you. Now, in order to attract them, you must appeal to the multiple different sides of their personality, okay? As well as stand out in a crowd. Aquarians are attracted to the different, the oddity. So if you have something about you that's quirky, that makes you different, don't hide it. That is what will attract the Aquarian, you know? If you have this unique laugh, or you have this unique talent, or there's something different about your upbringing than perhaps the Aquarian in your life, those things that you like, different foods, you like different films, something's eccentric about you that makes you different than everyone else, bingo, that is what Aquarian loves. So you want to lead with that, and continue to stand out in the crowd, because that is attractive to them, okay? Aquarians enjoy partners who come across as a bit different than everyone else. They want someone far from the usual. Yep, that's what interests the Aquarian. Now, the worst mistake you can make is being too demanding or pushy, especially in regards to their independence. And again, we're talking about the beginning of the relationship with the Aquarian. We're not later on down the road, because that relationship with an Aquarian looks a lot different. But in the beginning, don't be too demanding or pushy. In other words, take the time that they give you. Doesn't mean that you can't say, hey, what's going on here? Absolutely you can, and you should. But to take it further and say, I expect to see you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, yeah, it's not going to work out. They might accommodate you for a week or two, and then not so much. So it is best to go with the flow, let it develop organically. Again, play up that friendship thing, because if you're just a friend of theirs, then they don't mind stopping by their friend's house and see what's going on with their friend, calling their friend. But if you've somehow latched on and made yourself in this relationship with them that they're not quite sure they want to be in yet, yeah, they're going to start ducking you. So avoid that. Again, remember, beginning of the relationship. So they are very independent. They won't tolerate any kind of control very well in the beginning. So don't try it. They also feel uncomfortable with people who openly express their feelings so early on in the relationship. You start pouring out all this love, the Aquarian's looking at you like, okay, but I'm sorry, what's your name again? Hopefully. That's really a true story with an Aquarian, oh my goodness. But, you know, hopefully it's not that bad. But I'm saying, you know, if you're very feely, touchy, you know, you feel the need to express, you know, you just kind of want to minimize that expression and just kind of go with it. Appeal to their intellectual side. Tell them what you're thinking, you know, tell them your thoughts, because that's where they're going to be able to relate to you. All this feeling you're feeling, you might be feeling it by yourself, which is going to make for a very uncomfortable situation. So don't even take it there, you know. Control. Journal. Tell your friends. Don't tell the Aquarian. Not in the beginning. Now, again, as I told you, in a relationship with an Aquarian, later on, looks totally different. But we're talking about one that is falling in love with you, so therefore we're at the beginning. All right? Now, Aquarius is known for being aloof when it comes to love and commitment, okay? Commitment phobes is the name that they attach to Aquarians, in particular Aquarian males. Yes, not so much the females, although there are some out there that'll run just as fast as the men. They exist. But mostly the Aquarian men are kind of elusive and a little hard to catch and pin down. All right? They tend to do everything in their power to seem as detached and unconcerned about their partner as possible. They're also notorious workaholics. That does apply to the women as well. Yes, their work is very important to them, and they will put in long hours. A lot of Aquarians use their work as a reason for why they don't have a partner. See how convenient that is? Work too many hours. Can't have someone in my life like that. I can't do the work and you. So, of course, you fall to the wayside because, heck, they gotta go to work. All right? Everybody can manage to have a work and a partner except you, huh, Aquarius? Yeah, we're gonna keep on moving on. That's their game, okay? So just know it now, all right? Cat's out the bag, Aquarius. We know you just using work because you don't want to commit to somebody, okay? I told it. Next. So when Aquarius cares about you, okay, all in all, if they care about you in all sincerity, then they really care about you. So what does that mean? That means that Aquarian is taking time for you, calling you, setting up dates for you, spending time with you. They don't mind that this is starting to feel like a relationship. Baby, you got yourself hooked one. You have hooked one. Look at you. Woohoo! But you got to make sure that they're the ones doing it and you not cornering them into doing it. You know, this no escape hatch you have going on. You bolted all the windows and the doors. That is not the same. It has to be them pursuing you, them making time for you, them clearing out a drawer in their room for you. Then that is an Aquarian that is very interested in you, okay? Their focus on you will become razor sharp and unexpected, and you'll be amazed and almost overwhelmed because it's going to be a 180 from that detached thing they were doing, okay? So once they've decided that, yeah, okay, I can do this thing with you, all of a sudden they become a whole different type of Aquarian. You should probably watch my Aquarian video, Match with Your Sign. Look in the catalog, and that's the Aquarian that you will now be faced with, okay? But this one we're talking about here, this new one, yeah, just you're gonna have to look for the signs. You're gonna have to be really, really patient because they gotta turn the page on their own. And you're not gonna force them to turn the page. That's not going to happen. You're not gonna trick an Aquarian into a relationship with you. Nope. You cannot get up early in the morning to fool one of them about that. So there's not enough hours in the day. Not gonna happen. Has it happened? Probably, but I can't find that person. So we're gonna say it doesn't happen. You have to wait for the Aquarian to decide that they want to be with you. But once they decide, you're in there, okay? Now, because they are generally not as good as other signs as expressing their emotions in the beginning, they are more likely to hide their true feelings and keep their partner guessing about what exactly going on in their head. That's right, your Aquarian could be absolutely positively head over heels in love with you, think about you all day long, and not say a word to you about it. Yeah, exasperating, isn't it? I don't know how you guys do it. But that is why I said it'll be a complete overwhelming experience to 180 because you won't know, and then all of a sudden hearts and flowers, and then they are in there. And when they love you and they pour it on, you're like, what the world is going on? Are you punking me? But they're not. They're just decided that they can do this. But it is an internal dialogue that they must have, and they have to go through the entire thing. But once they've done it, they're into you, they focus in on you, and it's pretty amazing. And you will know, oh, I have entered into a relationship. And again, as I said, then you need to watch my video of your sun sign paired with Aquarius to help you out. Because there's some definite things you do need to do and not do when involved with an Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius fear losing their independence, their identity, and having to compromise. They will push back for as long as possible and even avoid any contact with the person they are falling for. Now, pause again. Here's the problem. All right, so you say, oh, okay, well, the Aquarian I'm with, I saw him, we were doing good. I saw him for 3 weeks, now I haven't heard from him for 2 weeks. What's the deal? Well, I don't know. Could be one of two things. Well, it could be what I just told you. They really like you, and so they had to fall back and regroup because they are saying to themselves, what in the world have I fallen into? I cannot be giving up my independence, but I'm hyperventilating, having an anxiety attack because I think I want to give this person my time. Might be that Aquarian, or it might be the other Aquarian. The notorious ghoster. Yeah, because, you know, they've had enough, and they disappear, and that's just who they are. And do they like you? Ask them. They're pretty honest. okay? But prepare for them to say no. I don't know what else to tell you. I thought long and hard about how do I deliver this part of the video and tell you about the Aquarian, but I'm your girl. I got to keep it honest with you. It could be one of two things. They're either feeling you and they'll be like, no, it's not that at all. And then you'll never hear from them again. And if that happens again after you talked about it, then you should move along, okay? But if not, they'll be like, no, what are you talking about? And then they'll make an effort to actually be there and communicate with you. That's an Aquarius who does like you. They've just got to work through that whole internal thing that they go through, okay? And because when they're falling for you, they just might freak out, okay? And they run away, and you'll have to hunt them down to pull them back into you, okay? It's okay. It's all right. You don't need to give me your last name this week. It's fine. Like, they'll need reassurances, and they'll probably say, I wasn't giving it to you. Oh, the relationship with Aquarius is a very, very unique thing. But so don't feel like, oh, why do I have to chase them down? That's just a part of the thing with an Aquarian. But as I said to you, if you're really curious, like, what the heck are you doing? Then you need to ask them. And they're typically going to be honest with you. Like, I was liking you, but there's a little bit too much. You have to be prepared for that. But if it's the other thing where they're really starting to feel for you, and they are just going bonkers inside and having panic attacks about it because they're losing the battle of losing their independence, then, you just got to kind of ride that wave with them. You are going to be all right because they're crossing over into that other kind of Aquarius, the ones that I enjoy talking about. This unicorn right here, Lord, it can be tiring. All right, so now Aquarius may be feeling a rainbow of emotions for you inside. However, rather than the PDA or the dramatic confessions of love, they'd rather just have a deep talk with you. So if they start needing to want to talk to you, and they want to talk to you about everything they've ever thought of in life, and what do you think about this, and what do you think about that, and they're intrigued by your thought pattern, and so they want to talk more and more and more and more and more, that is good. That is an Aquarius that is into you. That is a sign. Hallelujah. There is a sign that is an Aquarian that is into you. The feelings are there for you, but Aquarius wants to express them when they want to, okay? Not just because you want to hear it. So what happens when you ask the question? Well, are they going to express their feelings to you? Probably not. But again, because it's on their timetable and when they feel comfortable doing it. But when they say, no, it's not like that. I still like you. I'm into you. I really am. I've just been busy working. Remember, they use work as a way to dodge emotion. That's Aquarius. Okay. So someone who understands and respects that about Aquarius is ideal for them. So you can't pressure them. You got to kind of roll with it. You kind of got to be like, okay, fine. You want to do the ghost routine? I got things to do too, buddy. So if you hit them with that, they're like, hey, wait a minute. They're not looking for me. Wait a minute. Let me find out. Let me find out that they don't care. That's an Aquarian that you pull back in. Now, Aquarius may be a little neurotic in evaluating their partners as well, because they want something specific. Remember, they've got an internal thing going on. They see themselves in 5 to 10 years. You got to fit in, all right? Because that vision of themselves is not going to change. So you can change. They can interchange the person that's in there, but they're going to get to where their vision is in 5 to 10 years, with or without you. So it's best for you to just go along with the program, and they're going to do different things to make sure that you fit the imagery that they have in their mind. Now, whether or not they told you is something totally different, whole nother video, but I am telling you that Aquarius has an idea of where they want to be in 5 to 10 years. It's in there, and whether or not they express that to you is also a sign of whether or not they like you, okay? Now, they are always on the hunt for their true soulmate. That is what is important to them. They don't want to waste their time with somebody who is not going to get them and not going to make them happy. And partners involved with Aquarians might find their lack of PDA and professions of love in the beginning a little frustrating. However, The wonderful thing about dating an Aquarian is that because they're likely to hide their emotions, if they tell you they're into you, they're likely 100% sure of it. So if they've actually gone the miles to tell you, I am into you, I like you, this is it, I want to be in this relationship, take that to the bank. They mean it, okay? They've thought about it. But as I said, typically that's not going to happen early on in a relationship unless it's something that's frivolous and they're just going to move along. I hate to generalize you men, but Aquarian men, oh, the research says this is who you are, my gosh. Hopefully those things are changing and that is not the Aquarian that you are involved with. You are involved with the more evolved Aquarian man who's quite sure about what they want. And yes, Aquarian men, it says it mostly about you. They don't say that about the women. So what if you're watching this video and you have an Aquarian woman that you're into? Okay, so she's probably working a lot. Yes, she's going to take you through hoops. Yes, she wants very specific things from you. Yes, she wants direct answers. No, you should not lie to her. No, you should not play games with her time. That is a no-no. She will ghost you as well. However, if she tells you she likes you and she wants to pursue this with you and she makes time for you, then guess what? You got yourself an Aquarian. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. So remember my helpful hints. Take the road less traveled. Travel that friendship trail. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Let them take their time. Because once they think it through and once they make a decision that you are in fact who they want to be with, guess what? They put the time in and the effort to make it work. And on those rare occasions, yeah, they're even going to commit to you. Sure. It's not rare. It's just kind of hard to make happen every now and then. All right, so that's it. You know, Aquarius, you don't make my life easy at all trying to explain you, but you know, you're so multifaceted. That's what makes you so interesting. And that's why when I hear people that they are in loving relationships with Aquarian people, I get so excited because the statistics say something completely different. So that's it. Have you snagged an Aquarian? Perhaps you would like to share some tips about how you went about doing it. What made your journey with them so successful? I bet you had to be friends. And if you weren't friends then, I bet you are the best of friends now. In either way, I'll see you in the comments. I'm looking forward to hearing what it is you have to say about the Aquarius, or if you're an Aquarian yourself and you want to tell me some things that I left out, feel free to do it in the comments. I will see you there. Thank you so much. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe and tell your friends about it. We're just around here just learning and chopping it up about each other. Until next video, I will see you. Hit your bell because the video will be coming real soon. I'm SohnJee. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.